Shiho Gatame. This can be a short or long video depending on how much you want to practice. First, I'm just going to show Shiho Gatame, and then I'm going to show it in relation to the 10 basic judo pins, including the 4 basic Shiho Gatames. We do Shiho Gatame, and most of the Kilohana schools that I've seen, we start standing. I'm in kumikata. Someone goes in for a throw, seiwanage, ippon seiwanage. They go in. I block out the hip. I haven't let go of the front of the lapel, so now it's kind of across their throat because they've turned their back to me. Step around to the side a little bit, using their own pressure. My elbow's attached to my hip. My hand's attached to theirs. When they push, kind of helps move me around. And I'm going to counter pressure. Push the hip forward, or at least keep it from coming backwards, and pull backwards. Push and pull, and I'm also off to the side a little bit to drop them down on their back. I have a separate Ushiro Goshi video. Look for the one that says traditional. It's different than the one that we usually practice. It's the Okazaki version. It's just a counter to seiwanage, dropping them straight on their back. And that's what we use to set up Shiho Gatame. I'm going to use a gi and a pillow. One, to make it easier to show you on the video, and 2, just to give me something to work with when I'm on the ground. You can do this without any kind of equipment at all, or maybe even just the gi, just to give you a relative sense of where you are around the body and where the arms are. I like to add a pillow just to feel myself having that pressure when I'm not just flat on the floor. Shiho Gatame, they've got their back to me. I'm still holding the lapel because they turned into throw and I didn't let go. I've come around to the side a little bit. My hands on their hip, side close to me. I'm pushing and pulling, bringing them straight back. I step back out of the way. As they fall, I fall on top of them. My chest is on theirs. I'm smothering their face with my stomach. One hand goes underneath the arm, and I reach down and across the front of the body. I like to grab the belt or whatever you can, but I don't like to just grab the side because it gives them too much slack for the arm to move around. I really reach across to try to pin the arm. On the other side, my hand was already still across their chest. I don't lift my arm up. I just rotate around my elbow. I keep my elbow attached, and I go underneath and grab the collar. What it looks like from the other side. I'm going underneath this one. I go over and under the gi and try to grab back the collar or whatever I can get a hold of. And stop there if that's all you want to work on is Shiho Gatame. If you want to continue, this is in judo what they call Kuzure Kami Shiho Gatame. Kami being top, on the top of their body. Kuzure as in broken, because their arms are going different directions. One is up and one is down. Kami Shiho Gatame, just top 4-corner hold, is both arms are the same way. They're both down, I'm under both of them, and I'm pinning them like this. This is a way that I see people in class often trying to do this technique, and it's not wrong. I mean, it's a good pin, but it's not the technique that we practice when we practice Shiho Gatame. We do Kuzure Kami Shiho Gatame, broken 4-corner top. This is another perfectly valid pin and one of the 10 traditional judo pins. Both arms down, or I guess theoretically even both arms up. They're both going the same direction. Now, working around the body for the different pins, I like to start on top and work my way around. Full mount. I start with Tate Shiho Gatame. Technically, I think tate is horizontal, so it usually looks like this. I'm kind of grapevining their legs, and my arms are out, kind of surfing them so they can't roll me one way or the other. Nice pin. Sometimes it's nice to actually have their arm across the throat. I'm pinning it with my body weight and getting that pin. Tate Shiho Gatame. Now, to transfer from this to the side, I'm just going to lift my ankle and switch to the other side of the hip. This will usually happen because, you know, they're kind of bucking or trying to get me, they're trying to roll one way to throw me off. And then as they roll, I'll just switch my hip over to the side. especially if they're actually rolling me and I want to keep control and keep from falling off. Just switch the hip, the foot from side to side, from one side of the hip to the other side of the hip. From here, I can posture up, counter pressure with the gi, the collar, the arm, whatever you want. My shin is across the belly or above the belt line. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I hear this called knee ride. I really love this technique. I think the judo version is possibly more technically the leg is out this way, and I'm riding them with my leg open as opposed to closed and on the shin, which is a nice way to set up an armbar. Throw the leg over here, but I don't find this a terribly convincing pin in and of itself. It's a nice setup and a good transition, but it makes it harder to get back to a full mount if I want to do that. This version allows me to go back to Tate Shiho Gatame or off to the side at will. My next step is Yoko Shiho Gatame, the fourth of the Shiho Gatames that I haven't talked about yet. Yoko being side four corner pin. The leg that's riding, I'm just going to kick my leg straight back and drop my body weight. My legs are off. I'm now pinning them from the side. Yoko Shiho Gatame. To get to what we call Iri Gatame, I'm going to hook over the top of the arm, make sure I'm holding that, and my leg closest to their legs, I push my knee underneath me and slide that leg all the way through. Now I'm in Iri Gatame, or what they call in judo, Kesa Gatame. We call it lapel pin, they call it a scarf hold or scarf pin. Kata Gatame is the same as for us, pushing that arm over, keeping the pin in. There's also a version called Kuzure Kami Shiho Gatame, which is the same as Kesa Gatame or Iri Gatame, except instead of being around the neck with my hands together, it's called Kuzure Kami Shiho Gatame because it's a broken scarf hold, broken because my hands aren't together. Instead of being around the back of the neck, I'm actually underneath the armpit on the far side. I like this because it makes it much harder for them to take my back and to break this hold. Iri Gatame is a nice solid pin, but there's a bunch of ways out of it that involve getting around the back or moving around the back. And the best way to prevent that is actually to be under their armpit on the far side. In any event, the main way that I get to Shiho Gatame, I've never been able to do it from standing, but I do it on the ground, and it comes from here. I'm already in Iri Gatame or Kesa Gatame, or even Kata Gatame, and I just throw this back leg all the way over, and now I'm on top. Kami Shiho Gatame. Arms down, one up and arm down, either way. I like to work my way around the body that way. I wouldn't ordinarily go backwards, but just for the sake of the drill. And I have pulled this off. I just make sure that this arm, I'm under this arm and it's in front of me. Throw my leg farthest away from the camera, over backwards, and sit out. And here I am again on Iri Gatame on the other side. To get to my Yoko Shiho Gatame, I take my front leg and I push it straight underneath me until my hips turn over. Now I'm on Yoko Shiho Gatame on the other side. Lift that knee up onto the belly, and I'm already setting up Uki Gatame. Posture up, I've got my knee right on the far side, throw my ankle over. Here I am back again, Tate Shiho Gatame. In class, I have partners just working me all around the body and back a few times. It's a nice way to feel yourself in the positions and transitioning from one to the other. I think that's all of the 7 basic ones: Tate Shiho Gatame, Yoko Shiho Gatame, Kesa Gatame, Kata Gatame, Kuzure Kesa Gatame, Kami Shiho Gatame, and Kuzure Kami Shiho Gatame. And then the 3 new ones. One is Uki Gatame, the one we talked about, the knee ride, the shin ride, with the leg out straight, setting up that arm bar. There's also Ushiro Kesa Gatame, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not a fan of this one. Maybe I just don't understand it, and I'll leave it to people who are better than me to explain it. But just in short, I start with Kesa Gatame, or what we call Iri Gatame. I keep the arm locked in. I grab the arm, I'm either behind the other arm or the head, I switch to grabbing the arm, and I switch my hips the other way. Make sure to pin the hip on the far side this way. I don't like this one because I'm giving my back up. I don't feel comfortable with this. I've never used it, never seen anybody use it, but it is now one of the 10 basic judo pins, so it's definitely working for some people, and I'll leave it up to other people to show you that one. And then the last one is Kuzure Gatame. This is when they're turtled up on you. They don't want to play. They're face down. Get my leg in there, one side or the other. I like it from the top usually. Just hooking under that arm, kind of kicking the heel in, under the armpit on this side. Get under the armpit one way or the other on this side. Then I either roll forward or I roll backwards. We roll them over this way, got a crucifix. We're rolling all the way over the other way. And you got your crucifix, or a gatame. Have fun practicing Shiho Gatame and the 10 basic judo pins.